Hey, what's going on, team? It's Ricky with Learn Plan Profit. Hope that you guys are all having an absolute amazing start to your day. So here we go. I'm gonna start sharing my screen just so we could see exactly what it is that's going on. There we go. There we go. Boom, boom, boom. So natural gas with quite a push during the pre-market session. So right around 5 o'clock, aggressively pushing up from 1.82, which is really where it was consolidating. 1.82 to 1.83 was pretty much where it consolidated all pre-market session, and pushed up, became overbought when it hit 1.86. Now it's trying to find some form of support. So I'm going to give it a little bit of time. Is this thing going to continue to push up? Or is this something that's going to drop below the middle VWAP and continue to sell off? These are the questions that I am asking myself. We're going to be waiting for confirmation before we do anything further. But I wanted to say what's up. Good morning. Happy Friday. How are we all doing today? So, I hope you guys got some good rest. It's been one heck of a week for a lot of people. What the heck? Something like flew in my mouth. My apologies. But I apologize. But yeah, for everyone that has like been having a rough week, or there's obviously a lot of emotion going out just because of everything that's going on. I just wanted to support you in any way that I can. Remind you that you're amazing, and just today you have to get through today, and then we have the weekend, and then we get right back to it on Monday. But overall, very thankful that you guys took time out of your Friday, right, to tune on in and join me. A lot of you guys, are definitely staying busy and proactive, and it does not go overlooked. I don't know if that's the term that unseen. I don't know how to say that, but I'm gonna drink some water so I'm not so awkward right now because I keep messing up. AAL is killing it. I do agree. American Airlines is at the $22 price range. Absolutely insane. It closed yesterday up 40%. It's up nearly another 30% as of right now. Think about that. And this is from when it was already at $10. But from the overall lows of $9, right? $9.77. It's up over 121%. So Bank of America just broke. I'm sorry, that's Boeing. Bank of America. Boeing just broke above its resistance level. It's pretty interesting. I have my opinions of it. You guys have yours. I think it's amazing if you're trying to go with the hype and all that good stuff. I just hope that you understand that how quickly it's been pushing up. It wouldn't be a surprise. I would hope that the airline only continues to recover, but because there's so much hype right now and so much momentum pushing the overall airline industry up, it wouldn't come out as a surprise that if it does correct itself a little bit. So do you think Boeing will pull back, or should I add to my position now? Sam Jones, I want you to do whatever you think is best. Whatever you think, just look at the charts, right? If you're investing into this, it's up to you, right? Do you want to just hold your position and maybe when it pulls back, you can add more and then it continue to uptrend? Or would you rather be someone that locks in profits right now? If it pulls back a little bit, you can get in back all the way, right? There's many different ways on how you can approach this. If you think it's going to continue to uptrend, do I think that it can continue to uptrend? Of course, I think anything can happen. Would it surprise you? Just a question, just a thought. Would it surprise you if it pulls back? It doesn't mean that it has to pull back today. It doesn't mean that it has to pull back next week. But would it surprise you if it pulls back? I don't think so. I don't think it would come at much of a surprise to a lot of us that, hey, American Airlines pulled back 50% after it grew 121% in 3 days. It wouldn't surprise me. But that's just my opinion. I want you all to do whatever you see value in. If there's a trailing stop loss, I want you guys to be aware of that, right? If there's a way that, if it pulls back more than 1 or 2%, I'll cover my profits. Or, I'm going to close at least half of my position here and maybe wait for a pullback, but I still see long-term growth. So I might just leave half of my position because I want to invest into American Airlines. There's many different ways on how you can approach this. Oh, don't even get me started with HTZ. Ripping it. Up another 100% after yesterday's I don't know. I think it was up over 100% yesterday as well. Went from $76 to highs of almost $2, and today hit highs of $4, and now it's pulling back. This is a whole different story. If you're a beginner, I just would stay away from this. I think it's great the way that it's trading in the momentum. Just do your part in locking in profits when it makes sense, right? There's obviously a lot of news. You can see its overall volume. It all has to do with demand. Look at its current volume bars. Just look at previous volume bars, right? When it was selling off, and look at current volume bars. Do you think it's going to continue the same hype and the same demand going forward? If not, then if the next day there's not enough demand in comparison to the previous day, it will correct itself. That's how supply and demand works, right? What about with American Airlines? The same approach, right? Looking at its current volume based off of normal volume, is there some form of hype behind it? That's up to you to decide. But looking at volume itself, it's very easy to determine that, hey, right now there is a lot of demand. So, but can the demand continue? Of course. Can the demand cool off and pull back? Of course. Here we go. Testing 1.845. All right. Love seeing Ricky in a good mood. Hyped. What's going on, Nico? What's up? Holy smokes. I was not even paying attention right now. Look at that. All right, here we go. There we go. Let's see what we got going on. Let's see. Keep moving my screens. Writing. See, no, I won't get filled. There it goes. All right. Let's see. That was not the best. Not the best at all. Oh, there it goes. There it goes. Let's see. We're gonna have to cool off for a little bit. All right. Hey Ricky, can we get your opinion on CODX? Yeah, I'll definitely check it out. Can you just give me just a little bit of time? I'm trying to decide if which direction to go. So I'll definitely do some breakdowns just in a little bit if that's cool. There it goes. Dang it. There it goes. Broke below 1.835. It looks like it's going to be testing 1.83. There it goes. 1.831, 1.832. There it goes. 1.83 flat. Broke below 1.83. There it goes. DGAS is ripping it. Ooh! Look at this. Wow. Check that out. Talk about selling a little too early. Oh, my goodness. All right. Natural gas just doesn't hold. Just not holding. So if you guys check out natural gas, I could see it a little bit better on my second screen. So again, patterns tend to repeat themselves. They don't always have to. We could even go on the 1 day, 5-minute chart. You could see that it tends to have a very common support level around this general area. It doesn't mean that it's going to, it just means that it tends to. So with that being said, I can buy here, set a stop loss if we break below 1.82, and then kind of follow up from there. So I'm just gonna set 400 shares. Let's see what we got going on here. That's a big push. That was already a big push. There it goes. Hit lows of 1420, right? 1420, 1430 kind of. Here we go. All right. American Airlines is still flying according to you guys. Okay, so yeah, they made new highs. Congrats. Here it goes, trying to push for, whoa, natural gas says it's going below it. That's above, homie. All right, big push here, big push. Potential resistance at the EMA line, so I'm going to watch out. I was just about to add more to my position size. Now we're getting very, very close to this EMA line where it can definitely act as a resistance. So I need to be careful where I decide to add more. Does it make sense to add more right at a point where it could get rejected? Probably not, right? So it doesn't mean that it's going to get rejected. It just means that it has. As you can see by the EMA line, it's been getting rejected multiple times. And this level 2, it keeps confusing me. It says 1458. I just thought that I was like, okay, we're still right around 1458, 1459, and nope. There it goes, pulling back. So I'm just going to set my, let me see where. So this hit lows of 1429. And that was really close. So I'm just going to set my sell. I'm going to do 100%. Just do it with the stop. Set it at 23. That's fine. So we have our stop loss set. I can follow up with it, or I can just let it kind of run, and if my stop loss gets triggered, so be it, right? My position size isn't anything that's too aggressive, nothing like that. It's just there. So we're gonna wait off on that. And oh man, sorry guys, I should have had your guys' candles there. Yeah, so it seems like a lot of you guys are focusing on airlines, which I think is great. But yeah, I mean, I think that's absolutely, I like it when we're trading two different things, right? So definitely see what it is that you guys are, obviously why you guys are paying attention to it. It's just nonstop aggressively moving up. Just understand based off previous resistance levels, like do your part in getting in when something is obviously in the early stages of a reversal to then when locking in profits or something becomes more overbought and overextended. Yeah, it can continue to rip. Just don't be afraid to either follow with a trailing stop loss or lock in profits and stuff like that. So Ricky, I made money by respecting your number one rule: respect your plan. I like that, Stefanos. I feel like, a lot of people can relate to that. The thing that I've learned myself is that when you're put in a position like right now, like let's say I was in American Airlines, I would be like, well, I don't know if I want to lock in profits. It's pulling back, but I want it to continue to uptrend. But if my plan was, hey, to lock in profits anything near $22.50, and I did it and then it begins to pull back, you just have to do your part in whatever you wrote down before you actually took that position. You have to think your mental state and your emotional state when you wrote out your plan is you have no skin in the game. It is just what makes sense in comparison to when you're proactively trading. You're much more filled with emotion and bias and stuff like that. So you just have to remember and trust your version of your plan, and understand that you have good intentions, right? Wherever you plan to enter, wherever you plan to exit, and wherever you planned to stop loss. That was your plan. You accepted the risk and you accepted the reward. Now just you have to stick to it. So it's the simple things in life that I feel like a lot of people overcomplicate. Right. So we got natural gas still consolidating around here. So what do you think is going to happen? Do we think that, not telling you guys to predict, I'm just saying that based off of previous patterns, do we think that we're going to hit 1.82 and continue to drop? Or do we think that based off of previous support levels, we're going to build a support, you guys is going to try to push right back up again? What do you guys think? Which way is it going to go? Whoa, this is new highs. This is new 180-day highs. Look at that. Holy smokes. Check that out. And Walmart is dropping. Did we not call that? Did we not call the drop on Walmart? That is insane. Here we go. Dropping like a rock. Yawning on the job, Ricky? I know. My apologies, Alex. Sorry to let you down. I think that we'll see a support on natural gas. I think it's pretty interesting. I'm not too sure if you do any of you guys know why natural gas pushed up? Do you know what was announced at 5 o'clock that caused it to remain or begin it being aggressively bullish? I want to see a show of hands. I want to see a show of hands. Daniel. Okay. So for those that are saying there's only one person that I saw that was related news. I'm not saying that this is the exact reason. I'm saying that this is the reason that I read about on why it's causing it to push up. We have people saying that there's a storm. We have people saying that there's weather, right? Job reports, all of that. Where did you read that? Was that just a guess, or was that like we have Juan saying weather? Where did you read that the weather was what caused it to push up or push down? So global warming, is that something that you guys read or something you guys are just trying to guess? Okay. So based off of what I read is both the cutback of production, right, which should help out. Also on top of that, that natural gas rises on broader market gains. So just because the market began to recover, it acted as a positive catalyst for natural gas itself. So it was a combination of two things, right? So um, that, and then the thing that follows is that oil shares rise on hopes of production cut. So by slowing down production, hoping that there will be less supply, right, or creating less supply, which can then balance out with overall demand. So it's literally just this news section. One of the things that I try to search up every single morning is natural gas news. And that's really just it. I just try to stay up to date. Obviously, it's not the best or anything like that, and I'm sure you guys can find stuff that might be even more effective. But we just want to understand what I'm trying to share with you guys is I'm just trying to understand what caused this to push up, right? Because do I think it's something that's a positive catalyst that is going to be long lived or short lived? Do you get what I mean? That's why it's so important. And the reason that I'm sharing that with you is for everyone that's trading with the airlines, Boeing, American, even the cruise line industry. Do you know what's causing it to push up? That's all I'm challenging you to do. If you're so passionate, if you're so invested, I challenge you to not just follow it on the technical side, but to do your part. And if it's making you money, it's worth the time, right? I'm not here to like challenge you in a negative way, right? Airlines are going. I'm not saying that airlines are going down or anything like that. I'm just saying educate yourself and inform yourself on what's causing this demand and what's causing it to push up. And don't just say from news. I mean, like what? Like what about the news? Understand. Like hey, and then try to make a decision. Do I think that this news is short-lived or long-lived, right? Is it going to last for a long period of time? Is it something we're working towards, or something that should just kind of fade over time? Okay, I appreciate that, Chris. And what I'm not saying that there's a there's a perfect news article that you guys should all read or something that you should all know. All I'm trying to encourage you to do is whatever's making you money and whatever you're so obsessed about, why not obsess yourself about learning why it's pushing up? That's all. In every area in what you're trying to make money on. The more you know, the better off you can do, right? Um, but yeah. Did you get into DGAS this morning? I did. I had to cut losses. So, and I sold way too early, right? But I ended up having well, first of all, my position size when I first entered was not the best. So I did end up cutting losses, $260. So that's my fault. And on top of that, I sold at 282, something like that. And then it pushed up to 290 pretty much. I could have never guessed it was going to do that, right? So I just did my part in trying to keep my losses a little short. You know what I mean? For it. So. Alrighty. Alrighty. Would you buy Jets ETF? So be more safe on the airline side? No. No, no, not at all. I wouldn't say Jets and ETF would be safer than putting your money into an airline at all. Like, at all. No, that's not at all what I would do. But would I trade jets when the airline industry is bullish? Of course, as long as I still see upside margin. Here it goes, and stop loss should get triggered pretty soon. One of the things that I've like became more comfortable like throughout the years is when I'm watching my position size and when I have a stop loss. Trust me, and I know my position size might be a lot more. This just comes with experience, and I was thinking about this yesterday and the couple of days before. It's like if I would have like told myself when I was like 18 or 19 that there's some days like yesterday I lost 1.1k, right? And to think about that, like to think about like when I think about 1.1k, it's like thinking back because of like how I was raised and when I had my job and how long it would take me to make that 1.1k, and to think that like yesterday when I lost 1.1k, I'm just like it's literally part of the game. If I want to have those $2,000 to $3,000 days and I just had a crappy day, losing a k, it's part of it. But if I would have told myself at 18 that I would have lost 1k in a day, and what I would feel during that, just imagine that. Like thinking of the position that you are in right now, where you might lose $50 or where you might lose $100 and that hurts you. Just imagine losing 1k, 2k. I mean, my biggest red trade has been 4.2k. So just imagine that, 4.2k in one day, right? It's just like if you just think about that, you're like, wow. But this is the whole point of scaling. I started when I lost, $20 or $50. That used to devastate me. That used to be even feel worse than when I would now lose 1k. That is, the whole idea of scaling, right? And then I began to think, now thinking big picture for big time investors or even big time CEOs, right? Whether a company might drop 5 or 10% in a day and they lose billions of dollars or hundreds of millions of dollars based off of valuation. It's just like, if you're actually in this game big picture and you understand what it is that you are doing, as long as you do your part managing your risk, yes, red days do suck. I'm not here to say that. It's like, losing $1,000 does suck. I feel like that would suck for anyone. But if you want to continue to scale and continue to get better, it's just, having that big long-term vision in your head, I think is essential, because I think that's the only thing that can thinking back now and how everything played out, it's just, I would have never been able to imagine what it would have felt like to lose $4,000 in one day. It's like, that took me months to make, and to lose that in just a couple of hours, it's crazy. But also I've had a $10,000 day, right? And if you want to benefit from the green days, right, from the profits, you have to accept the losses. And we just have to do our part in managing our risk. So, what's going on, Stefanos? What's up? Appreciate you. So hard work and constant small improvements make the greatest changes. I like that. So I apologize if you've already answered this, but how do I go about learning about a niche or an industry? How can I learn about natural gas? You just begin to obsess yourself about, natural gas, what makes it move, supply and demand, what factors influence it, what kind of news. It's just over time, you begin to pick up on not just, I don't want to say patterns, but you begin to inform yourself on what moves it, what causes it to push up, what causes it to push down, and all of it. How do you learn more about supercars? How do you learn more about what car is the best, right? If you're upset, if you began to follow me because of cars, if you began to follow me because of, you know, you like to travel, maybe. Well, I don't really travel that much, but the whole idea is like, how do you begin to inform yourself about where's the best places to travel during the summer, best flights to take, best places to visit? It's just, you just obsess yourself around. That's, I think, the most exciting part about anything is I remember when I was obsessing myself about learning how to trade, and I was just watching videos and trying to practice every single day, and you just have that childlike excitement. There's nothing wrong with that. That's like where the passion comes from. You just have to make sure that you have a big term goal, right? A big term vision, like that you could make money in this market. Don't obsess about it when you're just getting started because it will ruin you, right? Learn first, profit later. Think big. I think a lot of you guys, like when you guys began watching my videos, I can almost guarantee you that a good amount of you just began to watch hours and hours within the day of my videos, and I did the same thing. Did you ever get frustrated about trading when you were first learning? Nope, it was always perfect. I learned in 2 weeks when I first began to learn. No, of course, dude. It literally took me years. There weren't even like courses back then. Like it was just imagine trying to learn all of this on your own, and everything on YouTube was like old, very monotone people. It was just like, it was hard. It was difficult to like, it was not exciting. I just had such a big passion for it. So, alrighty. And it paid off. Yep. I mean, who would have known, right? It's one of the things that like I always try to remind you is your job as an entrepreneur or even as a day trader is to take advantage of every opportunity that is thrown at you. So let's say, you start with trading and, you educate yourself, you grow a passion for it, that's great. But then you see another opportunity present itself elsewhere, but it was because you started trading that you were able to make sense of it and understand it and take advantage of it. Your job is to run with it, right? And if it's something that you think that you can make sense of it, there's a lot of people that I've met through Learn, Plan, Profit and through TechBot Solutions that started with trading and pivot to something else, right? It's just never like, I would just never say no to an opportunity. Come on, homies. It's overbought. I'm not too sure if we're going to get it on this one. It's overbought enough that, let's see where it's at. Let's see. The heck? All right. I like that. My goal is to trade in the mornings, then in the afternoons invest in properties. I think that's absolutely amazing. People like began to ask me, when is it that I like quit my job? I didn't quit my job this is something that I think it's just based off of like how you're wired. A lot of people start trading or start pursuing maybe a different career path or a different profession because maybe they want to spend less time working and more time doing what they love, maybe spending time with their family. And I appreciate that. And I think that's an amazing approach. I was 20 years old, right? I didn't have a family. I didn't really have priorities. I was going to school. I didn't stop going to work and quit my job until I was 22. I was already making well over 6 figures a year. I was working at Verizon Wireless. Just imagine this. I was 21 years old, 22, sorry, and pulling up in my McLaren MP4 12C. I had 4 properties. I had my Corvette Z06, right? It's my mission and my goal was not to spend or have more free time. That was not my goal. If I quit my job that provided me a stable income, I wanted to spend the time that I spent at the job doing something else that made me more money. And until I found something that then could trump that, I didn't make a shift. Do you get what I mean? And we have Ben saying flex. And the thing is, it's like there is no perfect way to, like, I don't know how to say this. It's just like I never planned for any of this to happen. I just made sure that I did everything that I possibly could. Buy and resell cars, buy and resell smartphones. I had this whole little like paper of, I would write out how many phones I had to sell, how many cars I had to sell, how much I had to make trading, how much I had to make off of YouTube, how much I had to make off of my work, right? And all the different things that I was doing to hit 300K a year. It's just like I was doing everything. I don't care if it was like, it was just, I wanted every moment and every second of my life to be focused on benefiting my future. Like that's all I was working towards every single day. And was it the most efficient? Now thinking about it, like is buying and reselling cars or buying and reselling phones, was that the best time spent there? Could I have better built a drop shipping store that maybe made a little bit better? It's just like, yeah, I'm sure. But it's like, that's what I was informed on and that's what I was aware of. And I just decided to run with it, like I'm never here to say that what I did was perfect or it's the best way or it's the most effective way or the houses that I bought or, maybe I could have invested more in real estate and less in cars, or maybe I could have invested more in cars and made more money short term than I did in real estate. Like I was just trying to do my part and I was learning along the way. And that's my thing for each and every single one of you. It's, if you're going to be asking, when did I decide to quit my job? Or, it had nothing to do with, oh, I hit this amount of money, so I'm going to quit my job. I wanted to make more money I wanted to be more productive with the time that I spent at work. I wanted to spend that time working, doing something else. It wasn't to play video games. I didn't have a family. And there's nothing wrong with having a family. I'm just saying that, like, that's just not in the position that I was in. All I was obsessed about was trying to do my part in effort to provide for my future family. But now that's another question. Are you happy? I would have to say, because I did have a girlfriend at the time, at 22, the end of 2017, and we broke up. We broke up because I had no time for her. And as horrible as that sounds, I was with her for almost 3 years, and I literally just asked her for, hey, I need more time to work on my stuff. She thought I was going to propose, and it was the exact opposite. I was just I just wanted to focus on my future. That's where my focus was. And, it's not the perfect decision. It's not, it sucks. And during that time, yeah, money doesn't buy happiness, but I genuinely got so much fulfillment out of my work. That's the easiest way for me to put it. Enough fulfillment that I know that I made the right choice for myself and my future to focus on my future. Do you get what I mean? and that's not for everyone. No, she wasn't holding me back. Like I'm not here to anything like. The girl was a great girl. She came from a great family, great values. Everything was great. Everything was great. It's just, it's time. A relationship needs time. It needs nurturing based off of what I've learned. I've been in 2 relationships in my life. So, for the little experience that I have, it's not like, I'm not going to like I don't care about my following. I don't care about, like, I'm never here to bag on anyone. She was an amazing person. I thought she always treated me well. And yeah, it's been cool. It's so crazy. And the reason I'm opening up to you guys is because I remember that during that time. Now looking back, it's much easier to like see everything and how it played out. So for all of you guys that are like hustling, that are guys and gals, right? That are hustling, that are making things happen, that are struggling, but are overcoming those obstacles. Looking back, with whatever form of success you end up finding 5 or 10 years from now, it is like your moments right now that is like in the making. You get what I mean? And I think that's what the parts that I miss the most. It's like that's when I experienced the most growth as an individual, that I've learned the most and stuff like that. So, yep, excited to see it. So could you check your Discord inbox, please? Yeah, of course, Mike. I'll check right after this live stream. So, yeah, no, I don't know if we've had deep talks like this before, but I do apologize for kind of shifting the narrative with this live trading session. It's just natural gas isn't doing much right now. All right. Appreciate you. What do you guys have going on this weekend or this Friday? Arizona's closed. We have a curfew at 8 o'clock. I haven't had a curfew at 8 o'clock since I've lived at home. But I don't think we can do anything. More work. I like that, Daniel. Work. I love that. So buying a Supra TT today. Ooh, congrats. I like that, Zach. Road trip through a couple states. Nice, Hunter. Finishing the LPB course on the weekend. Fishing trip. Any rides near you? No. I live in a residential area. It's not very close to the city or anything like that. So party night, actually cleaning up investment product we picked up on Wednesday. I like Tyler, my freaking guy. I saw your last name always gets me because I always think it says Lemon. I think it's the Mexican inside of me that wants your last name to say Lemon. Yeah, that's super cool. Congratulations again. I remember getting your Instagram message. So here it goes. A little dip for the boys. Ricky, get your pool set up. Yeah, the pool's all good. We're gonna let this thing run a little bit. Alrighty. Continue a lake day with the boys. I like it. Sounds like you guys have a lot of either fun plans or getting more work done, which of course are 2 amazing series of events. So I don't want to take too much of your guys' time. Natural gas is kind of just consolidating right now. We don't really know if it's going to continue to push up or continue to push down. Quick little overall, just so you guys could see, I am down on the day. $600, and I'm going to set my stop loss right now to do our part in managing risk. I don't normally perform the best on Fridays, but we're going to try to change that. We'll see how it plays out, and we'll kind of go from there. But we still need to do our part in managing our risk, regardless of how much we hope this thing recovers. But I'm excited to see what this day presents itself. Remember, it's Friday. Things tend to slow down closer to market close. Don't force anything. Just reminder, big picture. We're not just trading for today. We're trying to learn how to trade for a future self. So enjoy the day. Set your alerts. Follow up with it. If you don't see anything, get an early start to your weekend. I wish you guys nothing but the best, and I hope and wish you guys an amazing and productive rest of your week. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to direct message me on Discord. On top of that, if you guys want to get reposted on my Instagram story, just tag me on Instagram. A lot of you guys have been tagging me. It's been super cool to be able to shout out members that are part of Learn Plan Profit. Just tag me doing something fun, or just your trading setup or something like that. If you have the mouse pads or the flags, don't be shy. I'd love to repost you, and we'll kind of go from there. Appreciate everything it is that you guys do, and like always, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take it easy, team.